Valentine's Day. Oh my God, I said it. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I'm so excited to be talking to you today. First off, I'm looking so cute, by the way, today, okay? Let's just admire the outfit for a second. Yes, I love the fact that you can have pants and this little peplum top right here. Makes it look a little flirty, right? Just a little bit of movement at the hip. Yes, 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 yes. Sport your confidence, okay? Style is all about how you feel. It's not about what you wear, so boom. To be real with you, I did not look like this weekend, okay? I was legit in yoga wear the entire weekend because Nick and I ordered some more furniture. We built it and we started to hang some things up on the wall, and I gotta show you my favorite project I've ever done in my life. I'm just gonna show you because it's just something you gotta see. All right, so you know the fireplace, yes? But now when you look up, oh my God, what is that? So Nick and I ordered these prints and we framed them. Hunter, Lacey, and Salem. And what I love about these prints is, this is Salem's look. He is always just so, looks like he's afraid most of the time, and you can't see anything else other than his eyes, which is why he blends in so much with everything that I own. Lacey's sleeping in a blanket, just relaxing, enjoying her life. And Hunter is the mischievous one. And oh my God, this turned out so great. Right, Lacey? Do you like your portrait? Yes, do you like your portrait? Oh my God. We also changed two other things. So coming over here, we got this new table to go underneath our mirror. Hi! So we're gonna get some new pictures to put in the frames, but oh my God, I love this. I love how the mirror reflects light, and then it also reflects light from this mirror, and it looks great. The next part we did is the desk area. Now, I got an electric desk that goes up, oh my God, and down, and it goes all the way up so I can sit and stand. I'm in love. I'm in love. We also got some nightstands for the guest bedroom and a new set of drawers. I think I'm gonna figure out how to move this water thing because it's kind of in the way. I don't know where to move it, but once I do, I wanna get two of those drawers and put a nice frame up with a picture. So that's what's been going on in my world. Let's head over to my desk. I have got some notes, and let's have a little chit chat about how to ask for what you need in your relationship. Okay, here's the thing. We all want love. We all want to be happy in love. Sometimes you can look at people and go, dang, they have it all together. It must be because they have money, because they're thin, because they're pretty, XYZ. Let me tell you, happiness comes from being fulfilled inside of you, okay? Now, yes, there are external factors, but that's not what you need. What you need is to have certain needs met. There are certain things you need from someone in order to be fulfilled. There are certain things we need to see in order to trust a person. There are certain things that we need to experience in order to fall in love with a person. We need to know what we need in order to feel safe, secure, to know what we're experiencing, to feel sexy. There's things we need out of life. There's so much. And here's the thing I see happen so often. When someone does not know who they are and they decide to step into love, the idea is once I get into that relationship, I'm going to then be happy. I'm going to then know myself. I'm going to find myself in this person or this experience. And you know what happens? When you don't know who you are, when you are just waiting for that happiness to come, you are never going to find the love of your life, your soulmate, or as I call it, true love. How can you if you don't know who you are? Now, here's the thing about love. When we approach love, we are a certain way. We need to know who we are, what we want, what we desire, what we want out of life, what we want out of a person. We need to have most of that figured out because we become a piece of a puzzle, okay? Now, the person that we're trying to get to know or we're trying to invest our time in, guess what? They need to know who they are, what they want, what they desire, all of that stuff, because then you have two pieces. When you go on a date and you're exploring, hey, do I like this person? I don't know if I'm gonna invest in this person or not. I don't know. Are they the one for me? You need to know because they're going to fit, okay? They're gonna fit. It's a true match. So many times I see that if you don't know who you are, opposites attract, okay? So you're going to have a nothing piece and an all piece. And what happens is that all piece is going to cover you completely and you don't exist. How can you be happy if you don't exist? We have to have a match so that we're both present, we're both seen, we're both the priority. When we don't know who we are and we're looking for somebody that does, we're naturally drawn to this confident person, this person that just knows everything. But guess what this person wants? This person wants you to be like this all of the time. They don't want you to grow like this because then you're gonna wanna go like this, and it never works like that. You have to be willing to wait if you are in a relationship with someone who wants you to dim, who doesn't want you to find yourself, who doesn't want what is best for you out of life. When you meet your true match, you want the other person to be the best because you grow together, right? You grow together. What's best for them is also best for you and vice versa. We don't want to find ourselves in relationships where we are not even existent. The best example I have seen of this is in Eat, Pray, Love. Okay, Julia Roberts' character, how great was that when she was dating that young bad boy and then she walks into her friend's party and she's wearing this black leather jacket and black pants and she's just not her at all. Her friends even told her, like, wow, you look just like your partner, like just like your relationship. How many times have we morphed into the people around us because it feels good to kind of know what you want for a little bit, but it isn't accurate. You are becoming that person and what they want and not necessarily yourself. If you want to experience happiness in a relationship, you have to be you. Even if you is a little messy and maybe you is trying to figure some other things out, you don't have to be perfect to have a perfect fit. You just need to be you. How can that true match, that true love find you if you're not even you? Because your true match has everything you want, but if you're settling for somebody that wants to smother you and wants to completely dim you from being yourself, how is he gonna find you? How is she gonna find you? Today, I want you to ask yourself, who am I here? We're so concerned about finding this person. What does he look like? What does she like? What's their job? What's their lifestyle? And when we're on a date with somebody, what's the first thing we ask? We ask ourselves, oh my God, does he or she like me? Am I good enough? Is he or she gonna wanna see me again? Whatever it is, we rarely take the time to ask ourselves, do I want you in my life? Are you a good fit for me? How do you benefit my lifestyle? We have to learn how to become selfish. And that seems like a bad thing to say, and it's not being selfish as in, oh my gosh, I'm going to take everything I want out of this relationship and I don't care about you. It's being selfish with yourself to protect yourself against people that take advantage of us when we don't know who we are. When you become selfish in your needs, it's not taking from your partner. It's helping you be a match, because when you find somebody that fits, it is the most unselfish love there is. It feels good. You are your best self. You feel good all the time. That is what we want to help you experience out of love. When we are on a date, it can feel like a job interview sometimes. Where do you go to work? What do you like? What's your favorite color? Do you have siblings, right? It's very just chaotic, and it can kind of put us on edge. If we don't know how to answer all of those questions, especially the biggest one, what do you do for a living? If we struggle with answering those questions, we're automatically on the defense, and we're just trying to get through the questions, and we're asking questions back, but we're not really hearing what this person's saying. What's really going on is we're looking inward and going, was that answer okay? I don't know. Should I have said less? Should I have said more? Oh my God, like I'm sounding crazy. We have to become selfish in our thoughts, because when you become selfish, you stop obsessing over the wrong thing. You stop clouding your judgment. You stop overthinking about things that don't matter. On my first date with Nick, he asked me a huge question. I was sharing stories about myself, obviously, and sharing about New York and how I lived there for such a long period of time, how I was modeling at one point, then I transitioned into Wall Street, then I transitioned into owning my own business, and then moving from New York City here to California. Here was the question he asked me. He said, he was so smart about this, by the way. He said, "Oh, you used to live in New York City. That's interesting. A lot of people from New York City have a very love-like relationship with it, and it can feel almost like a love story, and it's really hard for people to let go of, or to always want to go back or be dreaming about this life." Then the question came, do you want to move back to New York City? Could you ever see yourself moving back? Now, prior to this question, Nick had been telling me all these places that he'd been to. He was telling me how much he loves to travel and how he loves new things, and he being kind of adventurous like that. In my mind, I legit thought that he wanted me to say, I want to move back to New York City because then we could have fun, or then it's something new, or traveling. But here's the thing. Before that date, a few months back, I was questioning this in myself. And rather than focusing on kind of trying to avoid it and not looking at it, I booked a trip to New York City. When I went to New York City, I went with Mom, and I was really facing all of myself. I went on this journey to discover myself, this journey of me. When I got there, I was looking through the lens of my current desires, my current perspective, what I want out of life today, not what was. And while I love New York City and it's always gonna have a special place in my heart, I found out on that trip that I made the right choice, and there is no part of me that ever wants to move back there. Do I want to travel there? Yes. Do I want that lifestyle? No. On that trip, it was my 30th birthday. I blew out my candles. I wished for an amazing love story, and I declared that what I really wanted was a family and a home, and I wanted to be in California, and I wanted to just raise my family in a really good area, yada, 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 right? Cut to my date again, okay? Having already faced a lot, and I'm gonna be talking more about that trip because there was a lot more that happened, but that's enough for today. Coming back to my date, had I not faced those big questions in myself, I would have been so worried about saying the wrong thing, or telling him what I think he needs to hear so that he likes me, so that I can go on another date with him. But I was selfish. I was in my own thoughts, in my own vibration. I was answering with conviction and confidence because I knew the answer. We have to be honest when we are trying to find our perfect fit. I answered very clearly. I said, no, I do not see myself ever wanting to move back there. I love it. It's a big part of my life, but what I want is to be here. And I'm excited to start a family and raise kids. And I'm in the place that I want to do that. And this is where I want to be. His response shook me to my core. He said, I'm so glad you said that. This is what I want to. In that moment, I seriously thought to myself, like sips wine, seriously thought to myself, oh my God, the old me would have totally answered in a different way, even though this is really what I wanted. Or I wouldn't have known how to answer. I wouldn't have known what I wanted, but I would have been taking steps towards something that is not going to bring me happiness. And I would have let this amazing love story go. When someone is confident in who they are and not trying to find somebody to smother, they want to find a match. They don't want to cover somebody. They want a partner. And so you have to be willing to say the wrong thing. Even if you're afraid that that person isn't going to like you or whatever it is, you have to be willing to do that, because you are never going to find your true match unless you do. Your true match will match you, okay? You can't screw it up, but you gotta date a lot of people. It is okay to date. It is okay to go through different people until you find someone that's worthy of investing your time in, until you find somebody that is what you want. When you are in a relationship, it's important to talk about what you want, which means you need to know that. Nick and I have amazing communication, and I've said this before, I thought I was like the worst communicator because I was with a ton of people who couldn't communicate or didn't want me to have dreams or goals or anything. I wasn't the problem, you guys. I am amazing at communicating when I'm with my true match. Together, we talk about things that we want, that come up. We have an open communication. Even when we're talking about our date nights, I say, this is really important to me, or this isn't, and he says that as well. A lot of our desires tend to overlap and are the same because we're very similar to each other and we want a lot of the same things, but sometimes they are different. Last Valentine's Day, he was driving so much to see me. So we were actually 2 hours away each way when we were first dating. And Valentine's Day was in the middle of the week, okay? Now I went to him and said, all right, so Valentine's Day, I want this to be a big deal. I want it to be a big deal, but I don't care about the day. I know you have to travel really far midweek. Don't worry about that. The day is not what is important to me. What's important to me is that we celebrate and we do all of those traditional things. And I made it so clear. I am a girl who wants flowers. I want cards. I don't care. I don't want it just one day a year. I want it all the time, but especially on Valentine's Day. This day is important to me. I didn't set him up for failure. I let him know what I needed. He knew what I wanted. I made it clear what was important to me and what wasn't. And you know what? Not only did I get flowers, cards, gifts, he drove down on the day, 2 hours after work, and then went home the next morning, even though it was a long drive and we had just started really seeing each other. He wanted me to feel important on the day. And he said, you know what's important to me? It's important to me that we celebrate on the day. We both got what we wanted, but we have to be open to talk about that. We talk about our travel styles. We talk about our cleaning styles. We talk about what's important long-term, the big picture. But we also talk about like who's gonna take the trash out, who's going to do the toilets, you know, all of this stuff that's not so fun. But what I love is I experience so much alignment with him because I am honest with him. I talk to him and we have an open communication. There's times where I might be stressed about something or I might be thinking about something. I will tell him immediately. We had a trip booked to Paris last year. We went to Bulgaria and Paris, and we had been talking about getting engaged so much leading up to that trip. And I knew that the engagement wasn't going to happen on that trip. But you know how you can kind of feel that excitement or those nerves and like maybe it is? I didn't want to spend my entire trip wondering about something. So before we left, I looked at Nick. We were laying in bed and I looked over at him and I said, I know you're not proposing to me on this trip. And he looked at me and he said, I'm not. Like, why are you saying this? Or how did you know? And I just said, I want you to know I'm not upset and it's okay. Do you know what he said back to me? He said, I'm so relieved you said that. I am designing a ring for you and it is taking so much longer than I expected. I'm doing a lot of research. He had notes and notes and notes, like Excel spreadsheets of notes about diamonds, the quality, the beauty, the clarity, the cut, the everything. And he said to me, I want you to have what it is that you want. And you know what we did in Paris? We had the best trip ever. We fell deeper in love, and we laid in bed in our hotel room and looked through pictures, and I got to tell him which ring I liked, what I liked about one, what I liked about the other, what I didn't like. And we got to dream about that rather than me stressing about something for no reason. The day we got back from Paris, we went ring shopping and I got to try them on and it was so exciting, and I found out exactly what I wanted. I picked out a ring and I said, this is what I want. I flat out just said that. This is the ring that I want. I know you're designing one, so design it exactly like this. This is it. And you know what he did? He designed my ring exactly the way that I wanted, and that is when you experience happiness. It's also in your emotional needs. It's also in your material needs. I will be looking at this ring for the rest of my life, and you know, I want to like it. It's got to match my style. So I need to be honest about what matters to me. Now, when it came to the actual proposal, the only thing I cared about was that it was not in front of a crowd. I wanted a private moment. I don't care what happens with the rest. Private moment. Guess what? You don't have to say exactly every step on everything, but you gotta be able to express your desires, what it is that's really important to you, what you value most. Because when someone else can hear that, when they love you, not only do they want to fill that need, but they're relieved because you tell them what it is that you want. It's not a bad thing. How great would it be if someone came up to you and said, hey, on Valentine's Day, I'm really excited about this gift that you might get me. And if you didn't get a gift, you're gonna be like, thank you so much for telling me that because I gotta go shopping and I'll be right back. It's not just about things. I talk about what I need emotionally and physically. I talk about what's important to me in those areas. We have a flow and a rhythm now, but when you're first dating someone, you kind of got to figure those out and you got to ask for that. If you've been dating someone for a long time and you still haven't kind of spoken up for yourself, it's never too late. Start talking about what you need now. If things are important to you, mention them. If you don't know what's important to you, you need to take time and sort that out in yourself before you are ready to date. I have so much that I want to share on here, and I know I've just kind of touched the surface on some stories and some important parts of relationships. On Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow, I want you to be able to start to ask for what you need. If you need flowers, if you need dinner, if you need a card, if you need to have a night in, if you need to be romantic or have intimacy or whatever it is, you need to be willing to ask for it, because even if you ask for what you want or say something and you're afraid that that person is going to leave you, if that person does, they weren't your true match anyways. So be brave, be authentic, be honest, be willing to be vulnerable and put on the table what it is that you need, who you really are, because the only way to find true love is by doing so. I have so many stories and topics and ideas that I want to share with you on. So let me know in the comments down below, what questions do you have for me when it comes to love? I'm having so much fun answering these, and my true intention is that we together will help you find yourself and find what values you have and what needs you need, so that you can find your true match, because finding yourself is truly the only way to finding true love. What do you need to face? Maybe you need to answer a question. Maybe you need to revisit something in yourself, or just redefine what your needs and desires are today. Because guess what? At one point, I thought I was going to die in New York City. Like, I was gonna be there for the rest of my life. And you know what? As we evolve, our needs and desires do as well. So who are you today? Be willing to answer the questions honestly, because they just might surprise you. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. And guess what? Even if you're single, you got some homework to do, because you might be closer to love than most people. Who knows? But the quicker you find yourself and you invest in you and really becoming that authentic version of you, the closer you are to love. Thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Until then,